So, as most of you know, Microsoft held their big developer direct, and it was pretty fantastic, I have to be honest. Microsoft is really starting to spoil all of their fans by doing these things on a regular basis. Not only do we get the big ones in like June, but we also get these smaller ones showcasing games coming this year, which I thought was really cool because we got to look at some pretty intense games. And as you're looking at right now is the one that we got the newest first bit of information from, which is the Indiana Jones game. This is actually very interesting because this game is being made on id Tech software, which is the same stuff as the Doom game, which means it's probably going to have a 60 frames options for sure. We got the first trailer. It's Harrison Ford. It's the likeness of him, but it's actually Troy Baker doing the voiceover, which I think is really cool. It's called Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. It's going to feature the likeness of Ford, voiced by Troy Baker. The new adventure, which also stars Tony Todd, takes place between the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first movie, and The Last Crusade, the third movie. So in between the good movies, thankfully, when the game begins, Indiana is working at Marshall College, a senior narrative designer. He wakes up in the middle of the night to sounds breaking in, and goes to confront the thief in the museum. The mysterious giant of a man walks off what seems to be a historically insignificant artifact, sparking Indy's curiosity. Following the trail, Indiana heads to the Vatican, hoping to learn why this particular relic was stolen, and discovered things aren't always what they appear. He starts pulling at the strings of the mystery. Ad cinematic producer mentions that it all unravels until he has no choice to see it through to whatever end. According to Machine Games, the game's locations will range from the hallowed halls of the Vatican to the deserts of Egypt to the lost sunken temples of the Himalayas. The frigid peaks of the Himalayas. The game will be mainly played in first-person viewpoint, but during cutscenes and certain movements, such as climbing, the camera will switch to third-person view, so players can see Indy himself. Which, this is cool because, to me, this looks like a very much a tremendous aspect of what if you guys remember, the Chronicles of Riddick game, right? So Chronicles of Riddick was a first-person game, but it was definitely one of those games that looked third person when he would go climb or do something along those lines. So really cool to see that. Some people were kind of complaining that it wasn't third person, but my thoughts to that is Machine Games does first person shooters. They do them very well. And if you would have done an Indiana Jones games that's third person, that's going to look almost exactly like Uncharted to me. That to me isn't like, people are just going to say it's an Uncharted ripoff. I prefer, do your own thing, stick to, that's their expertise. The game looks incredible, by the way. So, I think that's realistically what they have to do. They have to kind of keep things kind of on a level there. And you know what, again, I think that honestly, they kind of killed it with that. Like, Microsoft right now, in my opinion, have finally overtaken PlayStation in terms of these amazing releases and things like that. To me, anyway, I just think that stuff like this just looks absolutely incredible. I can't wait to see more on it. This really surprised me. It's coming 2024 as well. So that bit from the leaks turns out to be completely accurate and true. Outside of Indy, we also know that Avowed is coming this year as well. It's going to be coming in the fall. It's actually, players can choose between a variety of weapons, from standard swords to shields and guns or magic wands. They did kind of a behind-the-scenes thing. The footage shows how players can mix their weapons for a wider range of attacks. For example, they can freeze their enemies, they can use a sword to shatter them, as well as the combat. The video also shows how the dialogue system works and also gives players a look at some of the environments in the game. There's a video. I'm going to link all this stuff in the description. You guys can check it out. If you didn't see it, please, by all means, tune in to the Developer Direct. It is pretty incredible to see that all this stuff is in the, going the way that it is. Because to me, anyway, I really think that this is something that, honestly, Microsoft doesn't seem to get enough credit for, right? Like, to be honest with you, they've done a fantastic job with these types of smaller events. This is stuff that's all coming relatively soon. And I hope that they actually do a good job of kind of bringing these games out They look incredible, right? Like this game, people are like, Xbox doesn't do enough realistic games, and then they do stuff like Hellblade 2, which looks phenomenal. Hellblade 2 also is going to be similar in length to the original game. It's going to be a digital-only title, so I can already see people kind of complaining about that. But $50 or in Game Pass, I think that's pretty cool to see that, you know, that's going to be the case. You know, and also at the end of the day, you know, I hope that people kind of understand that, you know, Microsoft is working on so much right now that realistically this stuff is just a godsend. Like, as an Xbox fan, I have to say, you know, it's like a dream come true, honestly. You know, to be honest with you. So, yeah, I honestly hope that we continue to see Microsoft continue to do these things, continue to work on these things, continue to kind of get these things kind of worked out or whatever, because they're fun to watch. And, you know, so many people, when you look at what like PlayStation's doing, PlayStation is not keeping anybody in the know about anything, right? It's like, I have a PlayStation 5. I rarely use it because they don't have anything on it, right? Like, I want to see what first-party games are coming, right? You know, I want to see all of this stuff. You know, I want to see the great games that are coming out on the platform. And the fact that they almost kind of keep it hidden or whatever is really disheartening, to say the least. You know, but I got to say, man, that I'm super excited by everything that we're seeing from Microsoft right now. Avowed look incredible. Hellblade 2 looks incredible. Indiana Jones stole the show. You know, honestly, they did. It's going to be amazing. So again, Hellblade 2 digital only. It says, our approach is the same. Although we are no longer an independent studio, our creative spirit has in fact been emboldened by our joining of Xbox Game Studios. And in this new chapter, we have to push our production values way beyond what we were able to achieve previously. So my message to players is that if you loved Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, or if you enjoy narrative-led experiences of cinematic immersion, we are building Senua's Hellblade 2 for you May 21st. So we got that release date for it or whatever. It's not the first game to do it, only $50. Alan Wake did that as well. And Bethesda did a good job of explaining why indie is in first person, saying, our game is about putting you in the shoes of an iconic hero. Since we are doing this mostly in first person, you have the chance to truly become indie. First person makes you part of this world, allowing you to explore and experience things more intimately. What will you do when you're dropped into this adventure with your wits and your whip? So I think it looks fantastic. Like I said, they've done a really good job with it. You know, I can't wait to see all of this stuff, you know, really kind of showcase what's going on. You know, they're really killing it. And, you know, I think I can't really say enough, you know, to what Microsoft is really accomplishing, you know. So, yeah, love seeing them do that. Love seeing them kind of get everything taken care of the way that they are. The games, everything sounds incredible. And again, it's just an exciting time to be an Xbox fan. You know, it honestly is. So, again, we suffered a bit as Xbox fans, but here we are on the other side. Things are looking great. Let me know what you all think. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this. How do you guys feel about the games and all the stuff that we saw? Let me know. Rack 'em up. Crap Gamer out.